Hello? Doesn't work, is it? Does it? Oh, it does. Alright. Well then. We are here for the United States Grand Prix. It's a sprint weekend, and that means we'll have a one-shot qualifying followed by 25% sprint race, and then we'll have a 50% race after that. We'll ride along with Krishna for this lap, as he is the one in P1 at the moment. Yeah, I was having some mic problems, but it seems to be resorted. Just gotta check real quick. Yeah, alright, so it works. Lorenzo and Krishna really close together, as you can see. They're swapping positions. But we'll stick with Krishna for now. He has lost some time for that corner. Still in P2 though. Or P1, they're all very close together now, as you can see. It's crucial you don't invalidate your one and only qualifying lap, or you will be losing a lot of I guess positions. Yeah, a lot of positions. Krishna rounds the final corner. That's P4 for him. Leo 31.5. That's the pole time for Division 2 in the one-shot qualifying. Alright, so Lorenzo P1 131.5. Leo oh, okay, yeah. Leo 131.7. Jarno 131.8. Krishna 31.8, but a bit slower than Jarno's. Passe 131.9. Dark 132.3. Demorts 132.3. CRL really easy 132.3. Pharaoh Fury 132.3. XLRJ 132.4. That's the top 10. And then we have some more. I'm slow today. Not just on track, but with commentary as well. Okay, so it's all sun for today's sprint race. So that's good for us. Have a dry track. Right, so they will now head out for their formation lap. Let's see the selected tires. I imagine those who got in the top 10 with their tires will start on the tires they started their qualifying lap with. Alright, so we have Knight, Milios, Robbie, Deroy, Lucchesi and Sofian on the mediums and the rest on softs. Top 10 all on softs, worth mentioning. So no one in the top 10 set their time on the mediums. So this race is a 25%, and when this race has finished we will do a 50%. The grid will be determined by this race. The finishing positions these drivers get will determine their starting position. So I think you're all very familiar with this format. So nothing new here. There we are. see Lorenzo. Or maybe it's just me who's lagging a bit there. It looked like he was going off track. Yeah. We're coming around the corner before the penultimate corner. Oh no, that was the penultimate corner. Yeah, I'm down. Fun corner now. They have finally completed this long formation lab. We can finally get some action in Division 2 today. Damn, it's a bit laggy for me. Is it everybody or is it... No, it's only Lorenzo that's lagging for me. Seems like. Oh, I think that's Irish New Potato has disconnected. Maybe he'll join mid-race. I don't know what has happened with him. Alright, we have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away they go. It looks like Lorenzo got a bad start. Leo is already side by side with him going down the inside on the first corner. Leo is ahead of Lorenzo coming into turn 1. We have a lot of side-by-side battles down the field. You can see there's something yellow. That's Irish New Potato who is doing something. He has lost his wing. Yeah. Well, back to this now. There's the McLaren cutting the track. We have the AlphaTauri spinning over. It's Nazareth back there, but we'll continue for now with these drivers. There's a Williams also spinning. That's, I think, Feral Fury. Or no, that's... What was that? That's Barker. So, Barker and Milios have all lost so many positions, and that's Irish New Potato DNFing himself. Yeah, Stewards will come at you, buddy. Alright, let's get back to this now. We can see Leo is doing some aggressive defending there, trying to not give Lorenzo some slipstream. And he stays ahead of Lorenzo for the time being. McLaren going deep behind there, and that's Passe moving ahead of him, and RJ2. We have Robbie and Knight both losing positions, so the Red Bull team not having the best of days at the moment. DeRoy and Robbie in a battle through this long right-hander. It's easy to lose your rear here, and Robbie backs out of that. He knows he was gonna lose his rear or get pushed up. And that's Knight going very deep and hitting Nazareth on his way into the pits. So Nazareth takes the opportunity to pit as well, because his wing got knocked out from Knight. DC and D-Morts side by side for turn 2 now, and D-Morts is ahead of Real DC coming into the SS. And now the grid is changing. Lorenzo was kinda ghosting for me there, but we're back now. And Lorenzo is, at least for me, he's kinda all over the place with his internet. We'll ride along with Leo then, we'll check behind. What will Lorenzo do then? Behind Leo in the slipstream. I imagine some ERS being used side by side with Leo coming to the braking zone, but Leo stays ahead of Lorenzo there. And that's a huge dive, or maybe it was just some lag again. Alright, we'll jump off that, and you can see all the drivers now in the train that is very likely to happen around this track, all within a second of each other. You just have to stay consistent, not get any penalties, and you'll have a very decent position on this track. Purple fastest lap. No, purple lap for Jarno. I think it was a 134, if I'm not mistaken. Driver now starting lap 3. You can pit for the mediums at lap 1 if you want to, but they will be pretty hurting at the end. That's Sofian ahead of Lucchesi now. Well done for him. I think he started P20 if I'm not mistaken there. Lorenzo and Leo switching positions, and that's Leo having the coming ahead of no, that's Leo losing position to Lorenzo, and I think he was trying to get the slipstream, but that gave Krishna the opportunity to get a move, almost get a move down on Leo, and they're side by side. Lorenzo is kind of lagging still, and that's Krishna down the inside of Leo, coming in the back straight there, but Leo stays ahead of Krishna, and there's a front wing flying off there, but so there's some contact being made, and we have D-Morts and Jarno almost having a battle there. They're still having a battle actually. Jarno and D-Morts really fighting, and that's D-Morts going ahead of Jarno. I think Jarno is the one that has lost some damage. Yeah, his front left end plate is missing, and that's, yeah, he's got a pit. And that's also a Mercedes. The XLR just hitting the back of Jarno there. Alright, so let's catch a breath here. Reset. Let's stick with this battle. So the leaderboards are glitching again. It says that Leo is in the lead, but it's actually Lorenzo is in the lead. I swear I'm gonna mix those names up so bad. Leo and Lorenzo. Nothing that can be made at this point of time. I don't know what's happening. Lorenzo is last in the leaderboard. Hopefully he doesn't get any blue flags. That's like a big job for the stewards to fix then. Yeah. I can't even see the gap between Lorenzo and Leo at this point of time. But he does have DRS, so it's still within a second. And there's some pits. People pitting. That promotes some people, some positions up, yeah. Look at Krishna, 9/10 between him and Leo. He needs to put the foot down now. He doesn't want to lose more time to Leo, because if he's out of that 1 second gap, they will pull away. Nine tenths now. The DRS detection point coming up. It's 8/10, so Krishna is safe for this lap. And we can't even forget D-Morts. If Krishna loses DRS to Leo, D-Morts might be ready to pounce on him. We have our first penalty of the race as well. XLRJ picking up a 3-second time penalty. ISRL Dark has a blinking light, so yeah, he has 15% of ERS. So he's gonna be very vulnerable to Sprunky, who can easily overtake him on the straight. If Sprunky has a good amount of ERS, which he has 52. Feral Fury and DC switching positions, and that's Feral Fury ahead of DC coming into the exit in the braking zone. But he had a bit of a tank slapper that lets DC just make a move down the inside, and that's DC back ahead of Feral Fury now. Alright, so we have the leaders pitting. Is Lorenzo also pitting? No, he is not, so he will continue on his softs. Alright. Right along with Lucchesi. He might make a move on Sofian now, coming into the back straight. Just have to be patient through these corners and then make good use of the DRS, you will get Sprunky and Passy switch positions. That's Passy ahead of Sprunky. Sorry for missing that battle. But here we are then, Lucchesi and Sofyan on the back straight. Lucchesi doesn't seem to want to make a move. He can see that Sofyan is flashing as well. And Lorenzo has left the session. So he's having some internet problems maybe. And he will be losing a lot of time now as his AI is driving. Let's go back to this midfield battle. Pharaoh Fury and Passy battling, and that's Pharaoh Fury staying ahead of Passy. After that, I don't know which corner it is actually, but after the back straight. You can see that Passy is hungry to make a move on Pharaoh. And the top 3 has pitted now. That promotes Lucchesi to the race lead. We have Lorenzo's car coming out now. It comes out just side by side with Pharaoh Fury. It's also spun in turn 1. That traction zone's caught him. And that has left him with no front wing. Maybe he got distracted by the Ferrari car. And that was not actually Lorenzo's car. That was Sprunky's car that came out of the pit lane. Alright, so now my intervals have disappeared. So I have to check the map then. Alright, Krishna and Leo. Side by side, Leo pushing Krishna out of the track. And Krishna still keeping the car there. He doesn't want Leo to have this position. They're still side by side coming through this tricky section in sector 3. Now the long right hander, Leo is on the outside. Will he keep it on the outside? He does in fact keep it on the outside. But Krishna has his car ahead just a tiny bit before the corner and now has the position on Leo. I don't know if it was an overtake or a defending move, but well done to Krishna anyway. But now Leo will take advantage of the DRS, but he does not make a move. He takes a tighter line through turn 1, which gives him a better exit. But Krishna still stays ahead, and you do not want to go side by side through these S's. But Leo can also see that Krishna has a flashing light, so his ERS is going low right now. And all Leo has to do is to just stay behind and then take advantage of the DRS that is coming right now. And we have Milios and Barker. No, sorry. Barker, yeah? Switching positions, and that's Barker ahead of Milios. Back to this. Leo, 5/10 behind Krishna, who's also on a blinking light. DRS slipstream. No ERS using for Leo there. But he maybe doesn't need it. He gets the outside from Krishna. Krishna still ahead of Leo, but Leo has now the inside line for this corner. And Krishna still ahead of Leo there, but they're very close. Now switcheroo for Leo. No, switchback. Well, same shit. And that's D-Morts getting involved. And now he has the outside. They're free wide through the long right-hander. And Leo spins around D-Morts. Maybe he got forced by Krishna there. That looked like an aggressive move, I must say, from D-Morts to put his car on a freeway battle. I won't blame it entirely on him though, but that's what happens when you go free wide. And there is Lorenzo's car on fresh mediums. And yeah, his AI car is giving way, even though he's in legitimate P2. Is it? No, he's not. It's not. He's maybe getting lapped. I kind of lost track on Lorenzo when he disconnected. Let's see, but now Krishna and Leo, there's 2 seconds separating them. Does that mean that Leo maybe has some damage? I don't... There's no visible damage from what I can see, so... Maybe Krishna just has better raw pace. Lucchesi and Jarno switch places, and that's Lucchesi ahead of Jarno. Let's ride along with Real DC. He can make a move on Dark. Dark can also make a move on Leo if he is within a second coming into the back straight. Not now, but after the first sector. He is within a second now. So moves will happen pretty soon, I imagine. Leo's 3-second time penalty. I think that's his second one for today. Passe Sofian going side by side for turn 2 now. And that's Passe ahead of Sofian. Will Sofian make switch back? No, he does not. You can see DC kinda understeering there. No front wing damage, so maybe it's just his tires overheating. Let's see here. Will Dark make the move on Leo? He is within a second. But for me, it seems like he's way too far back. And they're both derating, as we can see on the light of the flashing light from Leo and steering wheel of Dark. Sprunky and Real DC having a battle there, but Real DC stays ahead of Sprunky. Now Sofian down the inside for this tricky braking zone. Will he make the move on Passe? It does look like it, as he gets a better exit, but he has the outside line for this corner. Both drivers giving a lot of room, a lot of respect, and that's Sofian ahead of Passe. Excellent attacking and defending from both drivers. But meanwhile, Krishna is just running away with this Grand Prix. 3.5 seconds is the gap. Lucchesi and Demort switching places coming into turn 1, and that's Lucchesi ahead of Demorts. Now Dark is closer than ever to Leo. Will he make the move? He gets a kinda wide line through that corner, which must have gained Leo some time. And yeah, but still not a lot, half a second separating them. And Dark breaks very late, which made him go a bit deep. Now Leo decides to defend. He goes so much left as he possibly can, but it's no match to the DRS and Slipstream and the ERS Dark is using, and he's now up to P2 in the sprint race at least. Remember, they're not fighting for points, they're only fighting for starting position in the 50% race, which I think is called the feature race. I'm not entirely sure. And we have Sprunky and Sofian in a battle here, and that's Sofian doing the same move again, but this time on Sprunky. Well done, Sofian. Now you can see the Aston Martin struggling a little bit, going deep there. But now it's Leo's turn to have some some DRS I should say. And now Sprunky trying to make his move back on Sofian, and he's ahead on the corner. He blocks the switch back to Sofian, but Sofian doesn't fall for it, and now he's side by side for Sofian with Sprunky turn 2. The SS Sprunky cuts a bit of the corner, yeah, some bit of the corner, and now overtakes Sofian. Maybe that's an illegal overtake in the steward's eyes. It definitely is in my eyes. He used the track to he over abused the track limits. That's what I'm trying to say here. Alright, so Leo now will have the DRS. Won't use any ERS, but he has the DRS and slipstream side by side with Dark coming into this heavy braking zone after back straight, and he is ahead. Now Real DC tries to take advantage, and he does, but that also means that Dark has lost a position because of contact. He has a oh, what happened here? He got tapped and almost spun, but saved the car, but that meant he lost 8 positions. And I think he has given up. It's going very slowly. Doesn't seem to have any damage. Will he pit? Uh-oh. What? I'm kind of shocked at what's happening right now. What is Dark doing? Alright, away from that. Let's check with Real DC. The spot has opened up for him to take P2. There's only 1 lap after this one, and then the grid will be settled. It seems like Krishna is running away with the Grand Prix. He has a 3-second time penalty, so even with that, he will still finish P1 unless he gets another one. Now Leo is flashing. DC is trying to make a move in the slipstream. On with the DRS. Side by side with his teammate. Going down the inside on the final corner. And he is ahead of Leo. But remember, there's 1 lap more. Leo will have his chance to make a move. So was this move a lap too early? Now Sophia and Sprunky side by side, as Sprunky and Sophia collide, and that's both spinning, and that's Sophia in the wall DNFing. And here we can see Sprunky just, yeah, Sprunky taking his time. Don't want to impede anyone's race. And look at Passe, you can see that Lucchesi is blinking, and Lucchesi does not have the DRS. So I think Passe is looking very thirsty to make a move now on Lucchesi. He wants that P4. At least I hope, because, you know, if you don't want to move up, you're kind of, yeah, never mind. RJ and Nazarus switching positions, and that's RJ ahead of Nazarus now through the SS. And here we have Demort now ready to make a move on Passe, but Passe has the DRS. But look, Demort maybe doesn't even need him to have the DRS. Doesn't matter to him. He's side by side with Passe coming into this heavy braking zone. I'm just gonna call it the heavy braking zone corner from now on. Side by side with Passe, and Passe turns in on Demort, but Demort keeps the car steady and is ahead of Passe. Passe still keeps his car on the inside now, which forces Demort to give room, but Demort moves ahead of Passe, and now on the final corner through the final, no, on the final lap for the final few corners, Demort is ahead. And DC also made a move on Leo. No, kept his position on Leo. That's DCP2 Krishna. Congratulations on the sprint race win. You got P1. That will give you P1 in the race. And then we have Demorts, Passe, Lucchesi, Jarno, Knight, Robbie, Bacher, Deroy, XLRJ now finishing. Nazarus finishing right behind him. Some penalties coming into play. We have the next car to finish is ISRL Dark. Now, final corner. Finishes P14 after such a promising race. Sprunky P15 after that contact with Sophian. And Feral Fury coming through the final few laps now. No, final few corners to finish off the sprint. I think he got the fastest lap there as the graphic popped up. Driver of the day goes to Lucchesi. Congratulations. I'll be back in a second. Alright then. It's Division 2 back again for the feature race. 50%. Just had the most amazing experience of my life. I'm not gonna talk about it here though. This race is gonna be quite long. I would like to say 28 laps. The 14 laps we did felt like an eternity in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot of action and it will all go by quickly. Anyways, as we're waiting for the final few drivers to at least connect into the lobby, into the race, yeah. And we have reports saying that it is glitched, and that's the Roy leaving, so yeah, it is glitched. We'll see if it will be a lobby restart, but driver has got kicked. And we have confirmation it is a lobby restart, so we will live this one. So, yeah, alright, we'll just have to wait for the lobby invite then. Ah, man. Got some mail? No, I did not get some mail. Very. I know why people keep saying that F1 2021 music is better than the F1 2020 music. 2020 music had a nice beat. Alright. So we're waiting for that lobby invite. In the meantime, I don't know, showroom? We'll look at some cars, I guess. Ferrari. Toggle. Oops, gonna turn off the sound. Don't want that annoying us. This one looks good. I just like the Williams livery. I don't know why people didn't like it so much. Looks good. Right. I'm gonna do some time trial as we're waiting, but on pad. See how that goes. I haven't used the pad for forever. Britain. Let's take a wheel setup because that's what I do. And we've got the invite. Okay, never mind. We're not doing this. I'll be back in just a second to wait for the drivers and the grids to be set up. As we are back, we have got the green light to, continue with our Division 2 race. As it stands right now, I will just barely make my Division 1 time, so come on guys. Let's get this thing going. Let's hopefully I don't have any complications with this lobby restart, because might happen. Knowing that this game has a lot of glitches. Alright then, so the weather was clear before we had to make a restart, so the race will also be set on clear, so no rainy weather today here in Division 2. I think the drivers like that. As we continue to wait for some players. And now it's time to go. The first driver has readied up, and we will begin our formation lap in 20 seconds. Alright, the formation lap has begun. Krishna leading us. Let's take a look at the tire strategies the drivers have chosen. The easy soft to medium or medium to soft. And I can already see that Dark has had a major F up. Anyway, we have Krishna, D-Morts, Robbie DeRoy, Nazareth, Sprunky, and Bassi on the softs. Rest on mediums except for ISRL Dark. So Krishna is looking to get that start and then just build a gap away from the mediums. Then switch just out of mediums, of course. Yeah. I think if Krishna can keep up the pace he had in the sprint race, I think he's looking at a victory today. Garden, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away they go. Let's see who got the better start. Krishna, of course, getting better start on those softs. Now, Leo already ahead of DC coming into the first corner. We have drivers side by side with the... Wait, who's that? DC now. D-Morts also getting ahead of DC there. So the soft riders getting good start. We have Knight and Nazarus almost side by side through the S's, but Knight backs out. Will someone go for a daring move? We have Robbie try to make a move on Jarno here, and he is side by side with Jarno, but Jarno gets a better line through that corner, or the better exit I should say. And that's Jarno ahead of Robbie still. Now Robbie, will he make a move back on Jarno? No, he backs out of it, but that's DeRoy making a move on Feral Fury, but Feral Fury gets a better exit out of that corner as well. Look at now, Sprunky close behind. We have then Passe and DC switching positions. That's Passe running into back of DC, but no major damage done. Nazarus and Knight side by side. Look at Knight ahead of Nazarus now. Up to P7 for him. And we have Bassi and Nude Potato battling in down the field there, and now will Bassi make a move? No, he runs wide, and there's a yellow flag, and that's the Ferrari of Sprunky spinning, and we also lost someone. There was some move happening as well, but that's Sprunky spinning at least, or yeah, Sprunky spinning. Let's take a look at DC, who is I think the biggest loser within the top 5 now, as he lost 2 positions at the start, critical for his set of tires. D-Morts and Krishna are free to run away now, and they really have to use their soft stint as much as they can, because the medium runners will get the softs later on, and they will be ready to pounce on them as soon as they can. No DRS yet, so I don't expect any moves on the chicane now. Farafio and DeRoy side by side. I think DeRoy made the move coming into the back straight, and now Farafio might be looking to use the ERS and the slipstream side by side coming into this corner. But DeRoy stays ahead of Farafio. Will Farafio get switched back? No, he does not get switched back. Look at RJ now, very close indeed, but so is Lorenzo. All drivers very close within each other. Now DeRoy and Feral Fury having another battle, and that's Feral back ahead of DeRoy. But you could hear the Feral was lifting off. He was going too wide, and that gave up some ground to DeRoy now. And look, Nude Potato and Bassi having a bit of a move now, and Bassi side by side with Nude Potato through this straight. On the main straight, the pit straight, and that's Bassi side by side still with Irish Nude Potato down the inside, and ahead of Irish Nude Potato. But will Irish Nude Potato keeps his car there, but he has to back off when they're entering the SS. You cannot go side by side through the SS. Let's see then. Now Passe will have the DRS. Will he get the better exit than Leo, and will he make the move? And there's a Ferrari spinning yet again. That's Sprunky. DRS activated in the slipstream. No ERS using, but he's catching up a lot. Will he make a move? Doesn't look like it. Stays behind Leo, but goes for a deep dive there. But Leo stays ahead eventually out of the corner. Yeah. I think we saw some moves. That's RJ moving ahead of Feral Fury, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that's the right word. Look at now, Robbie and Barker and Lucchesi all closed up together, just waiting for a driver to make a mistake. Robbie has to use his soft tires. All drivers have fresh tires, and they also had a free choice of tires, whatever, on whichever position you were in. And now Robbie and Barker side by side coming into turn 1. Robbie brakes later. He has the fresher compound, so I was not surprised. And there's some moving going around, and that's Bassi losing a lot of positions. He was on the grass there almost. And look, Feral Fury and Bassi side by side, and that's Bassi having some contact with Feral Fury. Good now. Let's check Leo's ERS. He has 20% more than Passe, so Passe clearly using more. He maybe wants to be aggressive, not using any on this straight though. Now using some, wants to make the move on this corner right here. Down the inside, easy move. Leo though gets the gets the switchback. But Passe still stays ahead. Now another switchback from Leo. But Passe stays ahead, and another switchback from Leo. Will he stay ahead this time? Look at Passe going deep, and that's Leo's ahead of Passe again. So Leo the switchback king then. Look at DC, will he make the move on Passe? He's looking very close now. No move yet though. Demorts and Krishna. 5 seconds. Good progression now. 5 seconds ahead of the medium runners, which is crucial for them. But even more so, Demorts is within a second of Krishna. So this will open up the overtake for him if he stays within that second. Let's follow along with Passe now. He lost the position. Will he go for it once more? Or maybe will he decide to stay behind, save some ERS and then go? Race is long, it's important to be conservative. With your tires, with your ERS, with your fuel. This track eats up your fuel. Now, in the slipstream, in the DRS, on with the ERS and way ahead of Leo before the braking zone. But Leo yet again gets a switchback on Passe. Has Passe learned his lesson? Will he block the switchback? And he does. Look at Leo. He drove into the back of Passe. And that's Passe now actually ahead of Leo. But that's Passe also getting a tank slapper, and that has opened up for Leo again. Will he go round the outside for this long right-hander? It looks like he was able to do it, but not quite, as the corner he would have the very tight line coming into the second corner, which would have compromised him a lot. So now Passe ahead of Leo. Will Leo go for the dive? No, he does not. He decides to stay behind Passe. But look at that, the switchback, or not really a switchback, just getting a better exit, a better line through that corner. But Passe still stays ahead of Leo. These drivers are all very close to each other. Expect the move to be done very soon. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Who's that? That's Bassi, who has spun. No wing damage. Lucky for him, so he can continue on. Only a few seconds back. Demorts and Krishna switch places, and that is Demorts in the legitimate race lead for now. But I imagine Krishna will get him back soon, as I don't think Demorts will pull a 1 second gap. DC and Passe switch places, and now it's a Aston Martin 3-4, which is crucial for them, because now they can team up and hold Passe back. De Roy and Lucchesi having a battle here, and that's De Roy ahead of Lucchesi. Demorts gets a penalty, so that has compromised him a lot now. He is in a legitimate P2 now, which is not good for his race. But these drivers still making good progress with their soft tires. They need to pull as much as they can on those mediums. Because those mediums will soon switch to softs, and when they do, they will be a lot quicker. Maybe Demors and Krishna will use their battling as a slipstream fest, a DRS fest, so they will maybe be able to maintain the gap they have. Look at the field, all bunched up, and then we have the top two runners and the AlphaTauri and Ferrari in the back. Chessie and Barker side by side now. Barker went very wide, and that Lucchesi overtook him, and now Barker is also slowing down on the straight and let Jarno by. Will RJ also get the same treatment? Side by side with Barker coming into this braking zone. Bit of a lock up, but still making the move on Barker, it seems. No, Barker really tempted to keep this move, and now will Lorenzo take advantage of this battle? He will. He's on the outside of both cars, it seems, but he's now ahead, and that's RJ and Lorenzo overtaking Barker. Now let's see, will Leo make the move on DC? And I just noticed DC has made that move on Leo, but will Leo get him back? Now it doesn't seem like he wants to make the move on this corner. And look at Knight, what a lunge down the inside on Passe, but Passe will have the better line there. And Passe is ahead. That has also opened him up to Robbie. And Robbie doesn't make anything out of it. He decides to play it safe, which you should do this early in a Grand Prix. Alright. So Krishna and Demords swapping places on purpose. So they are using the DRS. Well, kind of incorrectly, I should say, but if that's what they're going with, I'm not gonna judge it. See now, the Ryan Lucchesi had a move, and now Jarno and RJ almost having a battle there. Lorenzo's looking to make something out of this. Look at him, he's right there, but doesn't decide to do anything. Now RJ trying to stick his wing nose there, but didn't make anything out of it. And there's a Ferrari spinning again, and that's Sprunky also again. Soft runners are in. What will they put on? They should have continued for a few more laps and put on the mediums. But will they go? They will go for an aggressive two stop. Alright, so Krishna going for the one stop, or two stop I should say, or maybe the mediums can make it, but Demort's going for an aggressive two stop, another set of soft tires, so he will try to make up the places he just lost. That leaves DC and Leo in the legitimate P2 and 3 there. If Krishna can go till the end on those mediums, a fair play to him. If not, he has lost a lot of positions and time for going on to the two stop. And now we'll pass and make the move on Leo. Leo takes a bit of a defensive line, but notices that Passe will not be making the move and goes back to the racing line. And look at the Roy was looking to make something out of that. Alright. Nothing to watch. Now Sprunky retiring in the pit, so he has had enough of this race. Can't really blame him though. We have someone pitting, that is Robbie. Will someone follow him? No, no one does, except Bessie. Let's ride along with Leo then. He and DC has kept Passe behind for now. But Passe has built up some ERS back. Oh, there's a yellow flag, and that is... Who is that? It's just Ferrari Sprunky just going out to the track. Alright. Within a half a second of his teammate, will he be able to make the move, or does he even want to make the move? Is this a strategy to just keep Passe behind and then battle it out later? Not using any ERS, just the DRS and the slipstream. And he decides not to make a move. Look at Knight, what a dive on Passe that was. But can't make anything out of it. Now dives again. Passe leaving in some room. If he had gone in just a bit deeper, there would have been contact. Thankfully there were no. And that's Passe ahead. And Irish New Potato! Irish New Potato has DNF'd. I think he spun out of this corner. Where is he? Well, anyway. Yeah, he spun on the exit of this corner, and that's the safety car. This gives the medium runners a lot of ground. I think they will fit the hards. No, that's the soft for DC. Well, Passe continues, Leo continues. The Royce softs. No, just pitting now. Right, let's see. After the pit stops. None on the hards except... No one on the hards. So it's mediums or softs. I imagine most medium runners are on the softs already. New mediums for DeRoy and Robbie, who were on softs. And D-Morts as well on the mediums. Yeah, so all medium runners went to the soft, and all soft runners went to the medium. So this is a... Well, if you're Robbie and DeRoy, you're in a golden opportunity here. As well as Krishna. If you're Krishna, DeRoy, Robbie, Bassi and Nazarus, you have the best strategy to get a podium or even the win today. Thanks to this safety car. Alright, I'm gonna be back in just a moment. Right, so we're out. I just noticed. Sorry. All right then. DC and who's that? DC and Knight having a bit of a battle now, coming to turn 1, and that's Knight still in a battle with DC. DC pulls ahead of Knight through turn 2. I am so dumb. I am stupid. Yeah. All right then. We'll continue. No moves happening through the field, you can see. All the drivers in kind of a train right now. Nothing to really happen. Dark running very wide there and getting a penalty. Look, we have Lucchesi going very deep, and Lucchesi almost spinning. Lorenzo and De Roy. Lorenzo and De Roy here. Side by side, Lorenzo ahead. There was some move also happening here. Look at Barker. Will he make the move on Lucchesi coming to this braking zone? And yes, he does. Lucchesi and Barker ahead of Lucchesi now. Now Krishna and DC having a battle. Free wide, and that's also Knight spinning Lorenzo out. But he didn't spin. Lorenzo caught it, but that made Knight spin. He's all the way back to P14. And look at DC. Will he make the move on Feral Fury on this corner? Feral Fury still needs to make a pit stop. Not looking in the best position. And yeah, no move done yet. Sophian and De Roy switching places, and that's... No, actually it's Sophian and Jarno switching places. That's Jarno ahead. Or maybe I read it wrong. I'm sorry. Look now. Will DC will most likely make the move on Feral Fury on this straight. But will Krishna take advantage and also make the move on DC? No, on Feral. There we have DC make the move on Feral Fury. Will Krishna take advantage? He looks like he wants to. He sends it round the outside, but Feral blocks him off. And now let's look. Oh no, back to this. Lorenzo and Jarno switching positions, and that's still Jarno ahead of Lorenzo. Now Sophian takes advantage of that little battle and goes around the outside of Jarno. No, he did not. I'm sorry. He was trying to make the move he did before. So, yeah. Sophian now ahead of Lorenzo. Now look at Feral, still defending to Krishna. Krishna taking a very wide line, maybe was hoping to get a better exit, but still got contact with Feral Fury, which kind of disturbed his line and momentum there. Feral really holding up Krishna right now. Seems like he does not want to let him win. Still 13 more laps to go in this Grand Prix, and I don't think the softs of Real DC will make it till the end. And that's crucial move for Krishna. Down the inside, but Feral still gets the better traction. But now Krishna has the DRS, easy move. And Jarno is looking to make the move as well. Goes down the inside of Krishna. He's on fresher soft, so they will be a bit quicker. And Jarno is ahead. DC and Passe switching places. Look at, they're all so close together. And that's DC ahead of Passe. And also DC ahead of Leo. So Leo lets his teammate by. Because he is on fresher softs, and I think he reckons he can go to the end on those softs. But I imagine the softs will be very dead at the end. And now look at Lorenzo side by side with Feral Fury. I think already ahead before the braking zone even arrives. Lorenzo gets a 3-second time penalty. That won't help him a lot, even now when the safety car has bunched everyone up. And that's also Leo getting a 3-second time penalty, so he will drop a lot of positions from me. Well, he will drop it either way when his pit stop comes. Jesse and no, that's Barker was spun on the entry. Now we have a bot in the chat. Well, that's Barker spun on the entry of the back straight. And here they are side by side. The Jarno ahead of Passe. Will Krishna also make a move? And that's Sofyan going for the lunge on Krishna there, but doesn't make anything out of it in the end. All this time Krishna is losing time. Now Krishna and Passe still side by side. Will Krishna make the move? No, Passe goes into the pits. So does Leo. So now Krishna, Jarno and DC are all unleashed, as well as Sofyan and Lorenzo. Krishna needs to be within that second of Jarno on this back straight, or he will lose some positions, I reckon, to Sofyan and Lorenzo. And Lorenzo. You can see he's also flashing. So he's running out of ERS. And look at that, Krishna within a second of Jarno, so we'll get some DRS. Well, within a second actually. This helps him recover some ground back to real DC if he's ever looking to take this win. If those softs will even make it, that remains to be seen. Now Knight and Fury switch positions, still side by side coming into the final part of this long back straight, and Knight ahead. Demorts, Bassi also having battled. Demorts ahead of Bassi. And look at that, that's Dark and RJ having a battle as well, side by side for this tricky sector 3 section. And that's Dark still ahead. No, actually Dark losing positions to Nazarus and RJ. And let's see, the Haas gets the fastest time of the day, the provisional fastest time of the day. All eyes on Krishna here. He needs to stay within Jarno. And Jarno has made the gap just over a second. But we will lose a lot on the straight, I believe. Passe and Leo. No, actually, never mind. Passe just pitted and Leo spun and pitted. And now Sofyan and Lorenzo side by side on the same corner. Like, I swear to God, we had the most amount of moves on that corner. Now Lorenzo out of Sofyan. Will Sofyan get the switch back? No, he does not. No switch back for him today. Alright now. Krishna is going into the pits. What has happened with Krishna? Does he have some damage? I don't see any reason to make the... No damage, just switching on to the softs. Interesting play here by Krishna. But ISRL has some. Well, that leaves DC kinda free now. Well, not really free, because Jarno is really close behind him. But the Roy is now the lead medium runner. No, honestly, I don't think the Softs will make it. The Roy is looking for yet another race win in Division 2, and that's Leo, who has retired in Sector 2 now, and there's a safety car. Krishna might have pulled out the most insane strategy ever. If the other drivers pit, that will say. Hopefully it's not crash gates. Let's go along with real DC. I want to see. He pits. Jarno pits. Lorenzo pits. Sofian pits. The Roy also pits. Knight pits. Demorch pits. Everybody pits. Would you take a look at that? This has left... Yeah, this has left Krishna. No, this has left Passay. Passay is looking to take the victory now. They need to make it ahead of the Aston Martin though. It's now coming out. No, they have not made it ahead of these drivers. So Krishna takes P5 and Passay P4. Krishna, although he's only on a 1 lap old soft, so not much difference. But look at DC. DC, fresh set of softs and 8 laps to go. And he's in the legitimate lead. Well done to CRL. Real DC. Right then, safety car should be in this lap. Drivers are getting their final bit of temperature into their tires. Let's get the final 7 laps of this extremely long Grand Prix going. DC has gone. Already 5 tenths gap. Look at Lorenzo, 1/10 between him and Jarno. Will he make a move on Jarno? On the outside of Jarno now, coming to turn 1, there's some contact being made. Jarno giving him the right amount of room there, I should say. And Jarno stays ahead of Lorenzo. DC has gotten a penalty. This means that Jarno is in a legitimate race lead now. Unless DC can pull a 3-second gap or Jarno gets a 3-second time penalty, Jarno will win this race. We got Lorenzo trying to make a move on Jarno, ahead of Jarno, even before the corner, even before the braking zone comes here. And I think DC is pushing like crazy. He knows he needs to get out of the 3 seconds to Jarno. And it's almost a second between him and Lorenzo. And Lorenzo has a 6/10 between him and Jarno. Valfury and Bassi. Valfury moving ahead of Bassi. Let's ride along now. DC, fastest lap of the race. And they're all the top 3 are separated by 9/10 between each other. Or a second, I should say. And Krishna getting yet another time penalty. Now let's see. Knight and Sofyan switching positions. Now will Sofyan make the move back? No DRS for this lap. That helps Knight just a bit. I think he's using some ERS. No, he does not. But look at that. The Roy want to make a move on Knight and Sofyan, but manages to only stick his nose right beside Sofyan, but doesn't make anything out of it. 1.8 seconds between Jarno and Real DC, so this is what he has to keep. If he keeps this gap, he will get the race win. But it's safer to be within a second of the other one. We got 5 more laps of this Grand Prix, including this one then. Nothing's really happening. Let's check the penalty situation, shall we? Penalties. DC 3 seconds, Lorenzo 6 seconds, Krishna 6 seconds, Knight 3 seconds, and a lot of 6 and 9s and 3s here. DRS is active, so overtaking will be a bit more difficult. Look at Lorenzo now, close to DC. DC holding up Lorenzo will mean that that Jarno, I should say, will catch up just a tiny bit. Jarno is not gonna let them go away with his race victory. is within a second of Lorenzo, and Lorenzo is within 3/10 of DC. And look at that, RJ and Bassi side by side through the last sector, and Bassi is ahead of RJ there. And now Robbie and Dark switching positions, and Nazarus losing 2 positions there, both to Bassi and RJ. So don't know what happened to him. Lorenzo now 4/10 to DC. Jarno 9/10 to Lorenzo. Roy and Sofia side by side on the back straight. I think both have DRS. Yes, both have DRS. But Sofia, no, they have like the same amount of ERS as well. Side by side, still side by side. Coming into this corner, side by side, leaving good amount of room and respect. Deroy on the inside on this very tricky braking zone, and Deroy gets a bit of a tank slapper which leaves Sophie on the position of P7 there. Just gives him the P7th position. And Lorenzo, I missed this, but Lorenzo has overtaken DC for the lead, but he has 6 seconds worth of penalties. 3 laps to go, including the one we're on. And they have left Jarno out of their second window. Will they work together and ditch him, or will they fight and risk losing the win and a podium position maybe? No. And now will Deroy makes a move down the inside of Sofia. Will Sofia get a better exit? No, they get a pretty equal exit, but Sofia got the tighter line. Deroy's light is flashing, but Sofia doesn't have any DRS as he was ahead in the DRS detection zone. Demorts makes the move on Sofia and tries to make the move on Deroy as well. Look at this, Demorts still side by side with Deroy, has the inside for this corner. Now Deroy will have the inside for this corner. Yeah, this corner. Deroy will have the inside for this corner, I should say, and he stays ahead of Demorts. Demorts moves a position up. All right, 2 more laps of this Grand Prix. Jarno is still within he's not within a. He has lost the position to Krishna now. But Krishna also has a penalty. He still needs to stay within 3 seconds of these 3 drivers to get P1. And at the moment, he's 2.1, I should say. That's 2.1 seconds from the leader. And now Bakker and Robbie having a bit of a battle there, and Robbie ahead of Bakker. I want to check this battle out. 2 seconds from the leader is Jarno. He can't lose another second. Bazzi and Nazarus had some position switching there. And look at that, Jarno is within 2 seconds still. They only have to do 1 more sector and a lap before Jarno can be the Grand Prix winner today. He just has to stay within those 3 seconds. There we go then. Nazarus and Bassi switching positions. And that's Bassi side by side with Nazarus. And Bassi got forced on the outside, and made Nazarus get the optimal line, and he stays ahead, or maybe just overtaking Bassi. I'm not quite sure. Final lap has started. 2 seconds. Jarno to Lorenzo. De Roy and Ariel Passi made some position switching. Now Dimorts will capitulate on that battle there. But still Passi stays ahead of Dimorts. Let's ride along with Jarno. Let's go back to intervals. Find it kind of difficult. You can see the win is within reach. The most important part is that Lorenzo is ahead of DC, and he has 6 second time penalty. So Jarno only needs to stay within 1.1 to stay to real DC, of course, who is on 3 second time penalty. Yeah. Let's see now. Nazarus and Bassi still having a battle on this final lap. Nazarus on the outside of Bassi. Bassi has made the move on Nazarus, but Nazarus has the inside line for this corner. Goes down the inside very deep. Bassi gets a switchback, and there's a retirement, and that's Barker, who has DNF'd on the same corner as New Potato. But back to this now. Lorenzo wins on track, but penalties will shoot him down, and Jarno gets the race victory here. And DC gets P2. The podium is double Alfa Romeo podium for the Division 2 boys. Yeah. Well done. Alright. I'm gonna speak so fast right now, because my race starts in 5 minutes. Come in. Alright. So, Jarno, P1. DC, P2. Deroy, P3. Sofian, P4. Knight, P5. Krishna, P6. Lorenzo, P7. Fastest lap, 133.669. Passi, P8. XLRJ, P9. Dimorts, P10. Feral Fury, P11. Lucchesi, P12. Nazarus, P13. Robbie, P14. Bassi, P15. ISRL Dark, P16. And DNFs were RPM Barker, EFL Leo, Irish New Potato, and EDA Sprunky. I've been FRL rotation. Thank you for checking out D2 with us today. Division 1 starts in just a few moments of time, so go make sure to check that out, and I wish you have a very good day.